beep, 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 beep.
So this is our 2024 Infiniti QX60. It's a car we bought brand new in the summer of 2024. When we were shopping for a replacement for our old Infiniti, this car was not even on the list, but somehow we ended up with it. The QX60 came out in 2014, but before that they were called the JX35. And in 2014, Infiniti changed the naming of all the cars that they had to start with a Q. The JX35 became the QX60. However, the design did not change. They finally redesigned the car in 2022 when the second generation came out. So the QX60 comes in 4 different trims. So the base trim is around $50,000. So this is the top of the line, which is called the Autograph. And the Autograph starts somewhere around $66,000. And it can go all the way to $69,000 depending on the options. So the one we got is the top of the line Autograph, which is fully loaded with every option. And that tipped the scale at $69,000. But that's not what we paid, and that's one of the reasons we ended up with this over the other cars that we were considering. If you look hard enough, you can see the Nissan Pathfinder hidden somewhere in here. But they did change quite a few things on this one to make it feel more premium and distinguish it from the Pathfinder. Starting with the front, I like the huge grille. This being the second generation, it has more straight lines, and this looks a lot better compared to the first generation. I do like the design of the headlights. They have nice details inside, and these do swivel, so when you turn the steering wheel, they will turn with a steering angle. The high beam will automatically come on, and if they sense another car coming towards you, the high beam will automatically turn off. So that eliminates the need for fog lights. You have a bunch of sensors down here. The front end is clean and simple, but yet a little bit aggressive. So moving on to the side profile of the car, they kept it simple and clean, and the door, they are touch sensitive if you want to lock and unlock. But you also have 7 inches of clearance, making it look like it's sitting a lot higher. But I don't think a lot of people will ever take this off-road. But I have, and it does very well. So moving on to the rear end of the car, you get some nice LED taillights here. And you might think they go all the way, but the middle part is just a little plastic. In this middle piece here, you get the backup camera and also the little button that opens the lift gate. If you get a top-of-the-line Autograph, it comes with a tow hitch already installed and also the wiring. So I do appreciate the design of the second generation of the QX60. It's boxier, it has more straight lines, and it looks like a proper SUV. So this car is powered by a 3.5-liter V6. So this is the VQ35. And the VQ engine has been used by Nissan for well over 30 years. So it's a true and tested power plant. This engine is also used in multiple applications, from SUV like this one to sport cars like the 350Z. In this application, it's making 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. It's also attached to a 9-speed automatic transmission, which is a ZF transmission. It's more compact and more robust, but that transmission is also used by Honda, so it's a reliable transmission. Gas mileage here, 20 miles a gallon on the city and 25 on the highway. Now we are going to look at the interior of this car, and I have to say this is where it shines. This is where it actually beats most of the competition. This interior is what made us buy this car over the MDX. We just like the attention to details. It has the wow factor. For instance, we did not expect to see diamond stitching on the dash. Lexus does not offer that. Acura did not offer that. And when we saw it here, it was an unexpected thing. It was a wow moment. It was the wow factor. When you're spending this kind of money, close to $70,000, you want the interior to feel special because that's where you spend most of your time. So this is called saddle brown. I think it's a very nice rich color. It makes this interior feel a little bit welcoming, and it goes very well with the exterior. I do like the extra details on the seat, contrast stitching. You have quilted leather. You have autograph imprinted on here. And these seats, they do offer lumbar massage, and you can activate it by hitting the switch here. But it's just more air pockets moving on here, so it's a very weak massage. They're heated and cooled, and they're a little bit firm. They're nice and supportive. All right, moving on to the second row. You have plenty of legroom. Again, you have the nice leather on the door. You have the wood trim on the door. And these seats are manual, so you can recline. You can move it back and forward. When you move it all the way back, I have plenty of legroom. I think Infiniti says you have around 37 inches of legroom back here. And over my head, I have plenty of room. But here you get the center console that is actually removable, but it has two cup holders on there. You do have climate control back here. You can actually heat these seats. They're not cooled, but they can be heated. Down here you have the USB chargers and an actual AC 120 volt outlet back here. One of the details that we found here that we could not find in the MDX is the air vents coming from the ceiling. These are very nice, especially when you have a kid sitting back here with the car seat facing backwards. Because if the air vents are coming from the center console on the front, it takes a while to cool down the back of the car. Our kid in the summer was just swelling back here. But now, with this one, we can direct the air right to her and she can start cooling down right away. So here I am on the third row. A little bit of headroom back here. I do have two cup holders in the back and also USB charger back here. Again, you have the air vents coming from the roof. And I think some of the cars in this space, they do not even offer the air vent back here. But the back seat, you can only set two. I think on a Nissan Pathfinder, you can set three. I think because of space and being comfortable, they chose to do two back here. You have a little bit of legroom, not much, but for short distance, you can survive back here. But the nice thing is if you want to get out, there's a switch on the back of the seat. You just push that and the seat moves forward. All three rows, you do have some electrical power going to them. So back here, we have a little bit of cargo space. With the third row up, we have about 14 cubic feet of space. To demonstrate that, regular carry-on luggage, you can put multiple of them, maybe three of them, and you can stack maybe one or two more on the top. If you stand them up like this, then you can have an extra one. You can have maybe four of them. You can also put the third row down, and that one you do manually. Now you have around 45 cubic feet of space back here. But if you put the second row down, you get over 70 cubic feet. I believe it's 75 cubic feet of space. So plenty of cargo space if you want to haul things around. The only thing I would say is the third row, they should have put a mat like this one. This is a rubber mat back here, but they should have added something back here. So if I throw something on here, it doesn't go on the nice carpet. It gets dirty easily. and you have to keep vacuuming it when you throw things back here. So to bring the third row up, you just have to hit the switch on the side here, and that will bring the seat up. So that's nice that they are actually powered. So driving the car, the first thing you notice is how quiet the interior is. Like, listen to this. I can whisper in here and you can actually hear me. So they did an exceptional job isolating the exterior noise in this cabin. Maybe a little bit of engine noise comes through, a little bit of wind noise at high speeds, but when you're doing regular 40 miles an hour, it's very quiet. The other thing is the suspension is on the firmer side. It's a little bit firm, and some people might not like that, but it does have its advantages. It helps with handling, and also when you're cornering, you don't experience body roll in this car. This one has very minimal body roll, which is confidence inspiring. I like the steering wheel. Some people might say it's a little bit numb. It doesn't have a lot of feedback, but this is a family car, so I don't expect, or you don't want to notice every road imperfection when you're driving a car like this. So this car is isolating you from a lot of road imperfection and also exterior noise. So driving it, I cannot say it's a fun car to drive, and that's because of the transmission. This is a newer transmission which started in 2022. It has so many gears that right now I might be doing 40 miles an hour and I could be on 8th gear. So if I give it some beans, it takes a few seconds for it to actually downshift and fight the right gear for it to speed up. Some people might say that's a little bit lethargic or it's not fun, or they might even say it's slow. This car is not fast. It's a car that goes 0 to 60 in almost 7 seconds. But again, this is a family car. It's meant to transport you and your kids from point A to point B in style. Some people might say this is just a pathfinder. They would rather go with something like a BMW or Mercedes, and that's fine. But the advantage of having a car like this based on a mass-produced car is that parts are cheaper to get and it's a cheaper car to actually maintain. Since it's Infiniti, it's a Nissan, there is not a huge demand, so these depreciate a lot faster compared to Lexus. Lexus tend to hold their value the best. If you buy a BMW or the Volvo XC90, I think those depreciate a lot faster than this will. And those are more expensive. You're spending close to $90,000 on the Volvo. I think in 5 years, that will cost the same as this. I wanted a car that was 2 to 3 years old, like a 2022 Autograph, because that would have been around $40,000, and I could have saved $20,000 and essentially get the same car. That's why I would recommend a slightly used one, maybe the one that was a lease, that was maintained by the dealership. That's where you actually get the best value. But getting a new one like this, I expected depreciation, so I think we have lost about $10,000 to $15,000 already, and this car only has 6,000 miles. Depreciation is something to consider when you're buying a new car. You have a touchscreen here, something that Acura MDX did not offer in 2024. Apple CarPlay is wireless. Android Auto, you have to use a cable. Wireless charging over here is kind of slow, but it works. The climate control is this touch panel here. It does have tactile feedback to it with this rear view mirror. Right now it's in regular mode, but you can turn it into a camera. You have this thing that says clean. I don't know how it works exactly, but it helps purify the air in the car. So if you own one of these and you would like to share your experience with it, please feel free to leave it on the comment section below. There is quite a bit of information that I did not cover in this video. there is a lot of technology here, but I don't want to make the video too long. So if you have any question or comments, please leave it on the comment section below and I'll be able to answer them. If you watched all the way to the end, I want to say thank you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.